Good morning, everyone. Hey, listen, in the New Testament, whenever Jesus was beginning to gather his disciples and he met one of them and was calling him to be his disciple, he said one thing almost all the time. I can't say for certain every single time, but there was one thing he said most commonly, and he said, "Follow me, follow me." So the idea of following is the idea really wrapped around the custom of their day. Whenever a student began to follow a certain teacher, this student would stay with this teacher all the time, 24/7. He would write down every question that the teacher posed. He would react to those questions. He could see the life of the teacher and see the integrity of the life of the teacher and see how the teacher actually lived out the things that he was teaching. And so he was with the teacher 24/7, and he was learning to be like the teacher is what it boiled down to. And what they wanted to do is they wanted to emulate their teacher and emulate their rabbi. And so really, as followers of Christ, we are supposed to emulate Christ. If we say that we are followers of Jesus, that means we should look like Jesus. We should act like Jesus. We should sound like Jesus. Now, if you're like me, you're a long way from that, but that's the goal and that's the path that we are moving down. I remember, hopefully they'll get that pretty quick. There's one story in John chapter 13. And in John chapter 13, it's at the end of Jesus' life. He's at the Last Supper, and he's just gone around and he's washed all of the disciples' feet, which was a very menial task, a task reserved for the lowest servant in the home. And he's washed their feet, and he just said to them, "I have set for you an example that you should go and do the same thing." In other words, he's saying, look, I'm a servant. Now you're supposed to go and be a servant. And, for us as followers of Christ, we are servants. And we're supposed to be servants. We're supposed to look like servants. We're supposed to act like servants. Unfortunately, when you're following Christ, when you're a follower of Jesus, it's not about you. It's not about you at all. It's not about getting you accolades. It's not about you building up some sort of little kingdom or whatever it is that you build up. It's not about you at all. In fact, there's this one passage in Luke chapter 10. Verses 19 and 20 are the verses that I'm referring to. But in Luke chapter 10, Jesus has sent the apostles out 2 by 2. He sent them out all over the countryside. This is the first time he's done this. And in sending them out, he's given them authority. He has given them the authority and the power that he had, the ability to heal diseases, the ability to cast out demons. He has transferred to them this power. I imagine this is a wild moment for them. I imagine they are very uncertain, very unsure. I imagine they went with a little bit of skepticism even maybe. But let me tell you something, when they came back, they were pumped. They were so excited. They said to him, they said, look, even the demons are subject to us. Verse 17 says, the 70 returned rejoiced, saying, Lord, even the demons are subject to us in your name. But Jesus said to them in verse 19, he said, look, I've given you the authority to trample on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing will by any means hurt you. He says, but do not rejoice in this, that the spirits are subject to you, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven. Our sole and single purpose is to glorify God and glorify Christ. Their sole and single purpose was to never forget that they were just following their master in servanthood, the Lord Jesus Christ. We're servants, we're followers. Be like Jesus. Paul said, imitate me and I'll imitate Christ. Big, bold words. Get out there in faith today.